Hello again adventurers, welcome to the exciting video, and today we're gonna be exploring the biggest waterfalls in Costa Rica, the Nauyaca waterfalls. Let's get into the vlog. Right, so here we are halfway through this 4-kilometer trek to the waterfall. The hike is pretty boring because most of the time you're hiking on a bigger dirt road for cars. Plus the road is very open with a lot of deforestation, especially from the right side where you have these cow fields. So make sure you wear some hat as you can get sunburned pretty easily here. Alright, after about an hour and a half, we arrived to this checkpoint where there was somebody supposed to check our tickets, which was $10 per person, but for more money there is a shuttle bus going here every hour or so, which could be actually worth it. But then we saw there are also horses here, which is a complete animal cruelty. People should never use animals as a touristic attraction. Soon we got to this crossroad. We can go on the right to the waterfall number 1 where you can't swim, or left to the waterfall number 2, so we decided to first check out the waterfall number 1. Alright, so here we got to the waterfall number 1 of Nauyaca waterfalls, and it's really pretty impressive. And right now, in the end of March, is pretty much the end of the dry season, so this waterfall can get way bigger during the rain season, where it could be even more impressive. Down here you can see the top of the second waterfall, and apparently some people are jumping from here as there is a sign no jumping. Alright, after walking through the river around the waterfall, we got all the way to the other side where you have these overhang cliffs with another amazing view of the waterfall. If you walk a little bit farther, there is another trail and a map where there is more trails to be explored. Seems like it's a different property and different business. You enter it from different side. There was only warning signs in Spanish, which we don't understand. So here we connected to some trail by the river that should take us back to the waterfall number 2. First we're gonna find a spot to have lunch somewhere here and swim in the river a little bit. I always feel much better and more alive when I'm swimming in the natural rivers like this. The river rapids are also really good for massage. Alright, in just a few minutes we got to the Nauyaca waterfall number 2, which with waterfall number 1 looks even more impressive. And I can already see some people swimming down there, so it's gonna be really exciting. Alright, and here we are jumping into this little lake by the waterfall. Even though the outdoor temperature day and night is pretty hot, the water itself was pretty chilly. There's also fish swimming here. Alright, so here I got up onto this big rock just in front of the waterfall where most tourists pose for the pictures. And you can also jump from this rock as the water is deep in the front. You can also goof around and go behind the waterfall as the water flow is not so strong. Alright, and here I swam all the way to the left side of the waterfall where I found this little cave. Alright, and over here I swam over to the right side of the waterfall and I'm gonna see if I can manage to climb up a little bit. So I think it was pretty dangerous to climb any higher, but you can go even more under the waterfall, which felt pretty amazing. Alright, over here I saw some guy jumping from one of the platforms on this cliff on the left side, so I decided to give it a go as well. Climbing and jumping around waterfalls is one of my favorite things to do in nature. Alright, and after awesome swimming, jumping and climbing at the waterfall, I decided to fly a drone. The problem was there was not much signal here, so I couldn't really fly high with the drone. So at some point the drone was not really controllable and just kept going in one direction. I rather got back and landed safely. Alright, and here we walked back to the first waterfall where I got much better signal for drone, so I decided to fly again. As I'm flying towards the top of the waterfall, I think I can see some people standing on the rocks over there. Later Sanya told me she actually saw some naked people standing on the top of the waterfall. It means they either got some private access to there or some other secret path where you can get there for free. Here I managed to fly out farther and still have signal, and I managed to get a shot of both waterfalls. So it was very fascinating to see this big waterfall from a bird eye perspective. So looking at these waterfalls, now I can see why it's considered the best waterfalls in Costa Rica. However, I still think that Dos Novios waterfall was a little bit more impressive, plus the hike to it was much more interesting. Plus it was much cheaper, we only paid like $2 for entrance fee.
Purchase your tracks today.
Alright, and after I finished flying the drone with this amazing footage, I wanted to refresh a little bit more, so I went to this little waterfall with overhanging rock. I scrambled up onto these big rocks in front of the waterfall, which was also pretty extreme. We walked back to the right side of the waterfall where we saw this amazing rainbow, and we thought we have to get out already as it was 4 p.m, but there was nobody telling us anything, so we stayed a little bit longer. So even though we mentioned many negatives about Costa Rica, like everything is privatized business and you have to pay for everything, there's also some positives about this, like that they keep it quite clean without trash, and the water is very clean as well. For example, in Serbia all nature is for free, but on the other hand you can find lots of trash there. Stay tuned for future videos from Costa Rica, and as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.